So what we're going to cover today is how to move out of position very quickly. And in order to move out of a position quickly, we have to set up in position properly. So what that usually entails, in my opinion, is when you're coming up to a wall or a barricade, we want to make sure that we have a very wide base stance when we get into that position. The reason being is if your feet are really close together and you lean around the wall, you're going to end up having to engage your core because your center of gravity is actually off past where your foot is at. So when you're done shooting, you have to really tighten up those abs and pull yourself back into position and start moving to the next shooting position. But if you have a wide base stance, what you can do is you can drive out with your front knee, leaning a little bit more, and you haven't pushed your center of gravity out past your body. Once you're in that position and the shooting is done, you can then just simply take your feet and hips and drive them into the position that you want to go, or the direction you want to go, and press off. Now there are some different variations to this. There are times where we have to do a really hard lean, and in which case, that's when the drop step comes in. If our center of gravity is out past our hips, we at that point want to not pull our core back, we want to take our lead foot and step out of position and then press in and move to a new shooting position, if that makes sense. The important takeaways from this technique is going to be using your rear leg to act kind of like as a brake or a stopping point, right? So if I was in a starting position in this spot, I would hear the buzzer, step in, draw, and start to step into position and then drive into that knee here. So that way the momentum of me stepping just carries forward and I press out here. Driving my knee over my toes, that helps to get me that extra little bit of lean so I don't have to do this. And now I'm shooting from an awkward shooting position and my weight is being thrown off. So at this position, I have to really use my core to bring myself back over the top, and I'm still pressing off with my leg. If you're planted here and here, drive over, press out, you can just push with your leg here, boom, a lot easier off of position and into the next one. The other things you want to make sure that you do is you don't step too far into the wall, right? Because if I was here, I have to then lean because I can't get this press because now the wall is in the way, right? So you have to make sure that you have enough room so that way you can have the gun fully extended away from you and it doesn't collide with the wall, right? Boom. So that way I can drag back this way across the wall as I move into my next shooting position. So changing it up just a little bit, let's say that you came in from a different spot, not just right here, and the wall ran this way, but you still have to engage targets on the left. If same things apply, if I come in here and I lean, it's gonna be hard, even if I have to go straight down that hallway this way and then lean, I'm still having to use my core to pull me back into a neutral position so I can go forward. If you end up in a position like we were previously talking about where our foot is planted and we're driving that knee out here, our weight is already forward. So all we have to do to move forward at this position is start to throw the rest of our weight forward, because we can go here and drive down and press, right? As opposed to stopping here, leaning, and then trying to break that position down and then move forward. So that's why I think that having a wider stance when shooting is a lot easier to move in and out of position. Plus, the lower you kind of get, the more stable I feel like the gun is, but that's just me personally. So yeah. So, and also talking about the rear leg kind of being a brake. So as we run into position, if we're moving laterally, I can kind of plant this foot here, boom, and that's starting to stop that momentum as I plant this one here, and then momentum kind of carries on just a little bit. Maybe sometimes you stagger a little bit, but that's okay. But it's easier to plant this one and start to stop and drive into this knee than it is to think about planting this foot and then repositioning this one into a better position, right? Plus economy of motion, this one lands first, this one hits second. There's no reason to make a third motion after you've already planted that. So when you're doing your walkthroughs, try and move it at speed so that way you can actually find out if your foot placement is right to get into that nice wide stance. As always, I hope you guys found the information useful. If you like the video, smash the like button, share, please share, because if this is on Instagram, then no one else is gonna see it unless you share it, because Instagram hates 2A supporters, which is clearly what we are. That's it. Bonsai out. Catch you on the next one.